Hello, hello, my lovely friends. I am going to use the Shapeshifter Oracle just to have a look into that energy again of Harry and his comments about how anytime he says anything about his family, he faces a torrent of abuse from the media. And this time I'm looking to see, is there anything positive that we can say about him saying these things? And well, is it positive? Is it negative? What does it say about his state of mind? So I will do, there's the overall energy that he's feeling at the moment. Do it from the top. And we'll do the left hand side, we'll do Harry's family, and the right hand side we'll do Harry, and some more overall energy. Talks about wisdom as light as a feather. In ancient Egyptian mythology, they would measure the deceased's heart against a feather, and if your heart was as light as a feather, it meant that you were a very good person. So that's an interesting energy to come through there. The owl also represents wisdom, and there's some light in the background there. So it looks like there's a bit of hope. And Elizabeth and the lion, this card to me represents our late and great Queen Elizabeth, and Elizabeth and the lion. It is time to become a great leader. So I'm not sure exactly where this message fits in with the royal family, but we'll read the rest of the message and then maybe that will make more sense to us. So here we're going to talk about the energy of the royal family. Oh dear. Unending sadness and looking back. They're absolutely exhausted with Harry's constant crying. Look at me, everything's happened, it's so bad, my past was so bad. And I'm choking on that word. So they know that the way that Harry is portraying his past, it wasn't actually as pitiful as he's pointing out. I mean, for goodness sake, he's a royal prince. He had everything anyone could ever want in the material sense. And although he says Prince Charles wasn't a very loving father, there are many, many photographs of them out in public where they displayed genuine affection for each other, where Charles is hugging Harry and Harry is hugging Charles, even as a child and as a teenager. And so the royal family is really bogged down by Harry's endless portrayal of himself as this unending victim. And there's the subtitle here says, endless regret, obsessive grief, replaying the past, negative nostalgia. So this is really weighing them down. This is Harry's energy as well, but it's getting to the royal family. They just wish he would stop now. What else for the royal family? Ooh, this one is an interesting card. The Mermaid of Immersion, complete commitment. So they were regretful that Harry didn't commit to the royal family and that he decided to move away from them. But the royal family themselves have a complete commitment, obviously, to the monarchy, to the Commonwealth, to Britain, to Great Britain. And so they've just immersed themselves in their royal duties. But it's difficult because you see the red hair here that represents Harry. It keeps pulling them back away from their complete commitment to the people, and they don't want to let that happen. They're going to go with the flow, see the fishes. They're going to go with the flow and try not to be bogged down, try to be free from the weight that Harry sometimes brings with all his comments in the media. And I think that the royal family also realizes that it's not that Harry faces a torrent of abuse every time he mentions his family in the media. It depends on what he says to the media. When he's always in this place of constant unending sadness and looking back, that's when the media is becoming intolerant. They don't want to hear about it anymore. People are tired of it. People have got real world problems. People can't even afford to pay their rent or feed their children. Whether Harry had 2 sausages and William had 3, that's what, then the royal family understands, that's what brings the so-called torrent of abuse onto Harry. Not when he makes a comment, but when he's always in this unending sadness state. So what else does the royal family feeling? Oh, look at that. A loyal guardian. Magical protector is there for you. So the royal family understand that they've got the love of the people. There's a bit of a reciprocal relationship going on with the people. The royal family is loyal to the people. The people are loyal to them, and they get love from their people, and they also protect each other. They've formed a bit of an inner circle, and they understand that, you know, the media can be cruel at times, but when they stick together as a family, they can't be broken, they can't be pulled apart. And they wish that Harry was still in their inner circle, where they could, frankly, protect him, and where he wouldn't face this torrent of abuse, because he wouldn't be saying all these outrageous things, some of which have been demonstrated to be untrue. So, yeah, they look after each other in the royal family, and it's not a case of the rabid press. It's a case of how you live your life, and the press isn't always fair. Let's be honest. But if you're looking after each other and you're showing loyalty to each other, then you're much more likely to get favourable press. And this also just brings to mind how Harry and Meghan have cut off their families, and isn't that what abusers do? They cut off access to your family so that you don't have your support people. Not, this is just allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, not saying that anybody in that relationship is abusive, but you can see how people become vulnerable when they don't have that loyal, supportive framework. And even when nasty things are said in the press, I think the royal family are able to brush it off more easily because they have each other, and they know what is really true. Whereas with Prince Harry, he's obviously much more isolated, and any negative things said against him he's going to feel it a lot more, because he doesn't have that that support system anymore. And that's through his own doing. I mean, he decided to leave. Okay, now we're on to Harry's energy. Let's see what it says. Ooh. Little Red Riding Hood looking straight down the barrel of the camera, and it says, I am not a victim, which is very, very funny, because Harry and Meghan love to play the victim card. They love to say, woe is me. If I say anything about my family, the press is going to be, they're going to eviscerate me. They're going to come down, hurl abuse at me. And it's not my fault. I'm not a victim. They're the ones that are acting out. Yeah, that's interesting, because on the one hand, he's saying he doesn't like how the press is treating him. On the other hand, he thinks he's on a crusade. So it's a very interesting card. It's a very strong energy, and very determined as well. And see in the background here, this forest, there's no green leaves, none of it's bearing fruit. It's a bit sad and lonely. If you contrast these two here, the love and affection and assistance, whereas this lady is just out on her own. There is the wolf behind her, but we all know what part the wolf plays in Little Red Riding Hood. So Harry's next energy. Oh, your imaginary friend. Childhood treasures resurface. So yes, childhood, I don't know if treasures is the correct word. I mean, sometimes childhood treasures can be the those memories, and sometimes those memories can be very painful. So I think that Harry is, again, he's living in the past, he's reliving his childhood, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. This is just what the energy of the card is saying. I'm not saying it's true or fact, but he really seems to have reverted to a stage in his life where he's determined to be more in that childhood energy. And Harry certainly is telling us that he's feeling persecuted at the moment, and this card tells me that it's, in a large part, an imaginary persecution, because he's bringing it on himself. He gets that abuse, as he calls it, from the press when he says things that are blatantly untrue, saying that the royals are racist, then saying he never said that the royals were racist, and then accepting a award for fighting racism in the royal family. It's there's a lot of things going on mentally, and I think maybe he's not very well. And he really could do with the love and support of the royal family, but unfortunately he's turned his back on that. And this dragon is very spiky, so he's clinging on to things from his childhood that are not particularly helpful. And it's interesting, he said he was going to slay dragons, but he's snuggling up to it. So, yeah, very interesting. I do get a very sad feeling, sad energy from that one. He wishes things were as they were in the past, where he was loved and celebrated. And ironically, all he had to do was stay in the royal family and keep being loyal, I suppose. Okay, and this is the final card for Harry. A beautiful little worm. Take care of yourself. And so again, we're getting this image, this energy of childhood. There's the worm, but the caterpillar, but there's little, I don't know if you can see them, little butterflies all the way around. So there's a chance that he could metamorphosize back into the butterfly, but I think his fame, the adoration that he received in the past is always going to be. He's never going to get that back. The love that he had from the people is going to be greatly diminished if he makes a comeback. But it's interesting that it does say, take care of yourself, and I really get the energy that that's really what he needs to do, rather than going out there and fighting a battle that, quite frankly, has already been won. I mean, the media in the UK was changed completely after that Levinson inquiry, and that phone hacking is something of the distant past, and media companies would never do that in the future, in the current. So I remember when I was a kid, they used to say, there was a saying about, I think I'll go eat worms. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I think I'll go eat worms. That's, yeah. He really does feel beleaguered. He does feel that nobody loves him. And again, we've got the rose here, and for me, rose always represents motherhood. So this is probably him retreating into his memories of being with his mother, Diana. And yeah, he's just really struggling to move on. And for all his talk about mental health awareness and getting assistance for mental health, it just seems that whatever assistance he's got for his mental health struggles, it really hasn't helped him move forward from his mother's death. And I know you never get over the death of a parent, but you do learn to live with that scar and that pain, and put it in a light where you can make that deceased parent proud of you. Hopefully, if you go through the proper grieving process. So we'll come back to the central energies again. Elizabeth and the Lion. I still get that very strong feeling that Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, she's a very strong person, and if she was here, she would say, you know, it's time for the royal family to step up and not put up with Harry's nonsense anymore. I'm not exactly sure how they would do that. I'm not sure how you do that if he's saying things in the media and contradicting himself all the time and saying things that are not particularly true. But they have each other, and they know that this torrent of abuse that Harry claims is largely to do with how stuck in the past he is. Childhood resurfaces. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with a short wildlife clip just to make your day happier, and thank you for being here with me. Please leave a comment if you can, even just an emoji really helps the channel out, and like if you do, subscribe if you haven't. Have a fantastic day. And what came to me as I was putting the cards away is about this wisdom. Harry is at least showing some kind of self-reflection, some kind of wisdom, some kind of insight in that when he talks about his family. Yes, he does get some negative press, but I'm just going to pull one more card on this. So he's got the insight to understand that the negative press is coming, but he doesn't seem to understand that it's because of how he is acting, not because of not because the press is mean. So this is a card, a deck that comes in a container, like just in a little bag like this. I got it off Etsy from the person who actually makes it, and it's called the Playful Healing Card Deck. So I'll just pull one more card for Harry from this deck. Now, crying. So the back of the card says, teary, sigh, weep, soothing, sobbing, crying. Poor Harry. He's still stuck in so much emotional pain, and it's just a pity that he's trying to play out his therapy on the world stage, on the media stage. Let's see if we can get one that's a little bit more positive. One positive card for Harry. One positive card for Harry. Oh, watchful. No, he's already very watchful, alert, observant, vigilant, switched on. I don't know about switched on, but he's always watching for trouble coming his way. One more card for Harry. These cards are a bit mixed up. Oh, I think that's the back. One more card. This is going to be definitely the last one. Oh, this one jumped. Animal friends. Insects, pets, birds, wild animals. So, yeah, at the moment, Harry could do well to have some good relationships with his pets, take comfort in them. And interesting here, under this little blanket, there's the lion, and the lion or the lioness represents for me the late Queen Elizabeth. So he can call on the strength of her memory to help him start his healing journey. Thank you for being here.